Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? And welcome to the latest edition of Drew Media Live. So great to have you with us for this Thursday, the 13th day of June, the year 2019. And of course, this is yours truly, Andrew L. Perry. Oh yes, indeed, as always, coming to you live and actual from the busy streets with the going on a different road, but before we get into all that, let's start off with I want to kick things off. Congratulations to the St. Louis Blues to finish a bow tie on the NHL season, as the St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions. Their first Stanley Cup champion in franchise history since the team began. The team was an expansion team in 1970, 1969, right around there. But they won their first Stanley Cup Finals in franchise history, just like I mentioned. And a couple of things. Eddie O said it best. This Stanley Cup was a great Stanley Cup. It was a very good Stanley Cup Finals from top to bottom. But I'm gonna start with the Boston Bruins. Even though y'all win in St. Louis, y'all score a lot of points in game number 6, 5-1. And to come off flat yesterday. And I don't watch a lot of hockey that much, honestly, but I gotta be honest. If you watch yesterday, with that 7th game, the Blues looked like a much better team. They played better. Where the Bruins, they look more desperate and undisciplined. The Bruins was making how many, like 43, more than 43 attempts shots, and all of them was missing. All of them. And the goalie Jordan Binnington was phenomenal last night. He was phenomenal, and that's why the Blues end up winning the Stanley Cup. The defense game plan was superb, and you got to give the coaching staff tremendous credit for it. Remember, this was a team that was in last place, and then when the new year started, they became a different team. They went on a massive winning streak, and in the result, they end up. Who would have thought they would win the Stanley Cup? And the beginning of this series, I have to admit, I thought the Bruins was going to win the Stanley Cup. Last night I was saying to myself, Game 7, the Bruins cannot lose this game, and they did. And it's not that they lost; it's the way they lost. They look awful yesterday. They look really awful. They were searching for answers. Like I said, they couldn't get a shot. They couldn't get a shot. They tried everything. Everything that the Bruins tried to do, the Blues intercepted it. That's all they did. And I gotta give the Blues tremendous credit for that. And there's nothing. What more can you say about the Bruins? to win Game 7 on the road, which is very difficult. Which from 1980 and since 2016, we've been seeing teams on the road winning Game 7 championships on the road. The Cavs, may I say the Cavs in 2016. The Giants in 2014 when in Game 7 and they won at Kansas City. But and now you can add the St. Louis Blues winning Game 7 against the Boston Bruins, who was a part of the Bruins, are part of the original six. So it's really unbelievable to really think about it. But congratulations to the Blues, and they're gonna be rock. And they expect the parade with yet to be dated. So that's it for the hockey. That's it for the hockey season, and then a long season, and then every player from the St. Louis Blues is gonna take, even the organization is gonna have their date with the Lord Stanley Cup, to say the least. All right. Real quickly, before I get to the Mets and the Yankees, let's preview Game 6 of tonight's game between the Raptors and the Warriors. And if you're the Raptors, to me, if you could win in Oracle, which is the final. Let me point this out first. It's the final game in Oracle Arena ever, because next season they're gonna move to San Francisco. So if you're Golden State, I don't care if you're Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and even DeMarcus Cousins, you want to end Oracle Arena on a high note. If you're the Warriors, you do not want the Raptors to celebrate in your building. So, if you want to force a Game 7, I suggest you win tonight and play a lot better. That goes for the Raptors too. The Raptors got to play a much better game and stop falling in love with the 3 points. Because what I saw in Game 5, they fell in love way too much with the 3 points. They gave up way too many layup shots. They have to take more advantage of what's in the paint. Because remember, because in Game 5, most of the points came from the points in the paint. So I would like to see Marc Gasol not to take so much 3 points. I would like to see him be a big man, because because one thing the Raptors have that the Warriors don't is have size, and they got to use their size to their advantage, and that's why they lead this series 3-1. And let's face it, Oracle is really not an impact. It's really not a home advantage for the Golden State Warriors. Because if it was, they would have won Game 7 against Cleveland in 2016 when they won the 72-win game. But I'm just saying. But again, Game 6 is going to be really intriguing now. But again, you want to come Toronto. You want to come home. You want to come to Toronto with the Larry O'Brien Trophy, and Golden State. You want to make your final trip to Toronto, playing one more game for the championship. So that's where we are as far as the NBA Finals is concerned. NBA's Finals is concerned. Now, I saw the press conference with the Jets with the final. Today is the final meeting of the mandatory mini camp. with the Jets, and I finally saw Joe Douglas say basically saying the same thing Chris Johnson and Adam Gase been saying, and now Le'Veon Bell be saying, well, everything's great. Life is great. Life is great in Jetland. Listen, I'm not listening to any of that because we heard this before. Everything is great. Everything is great. For now. Because look what happened to Mike McCann. So, until otherwise, I don't believe nothing Le'Veon Bell says. I don't believe nothing Chris Johnson says. I don't believe nothing Joe Douglas saying. To say everything is great, and then you're gonna hide it, and then behind closed doors, something is the problem. And if I'm the beat writers, I would not take their word for it either. Maybe you have to do a little bit more sources or more investigation in the Jets locker room, because I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling that the Jets are telling us even more lies, that things are great and things are not great. We're going in this year. The focal point is Sam Darnold. Now it's Adam Gase, Le'Veon Bell, and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold should be number one. Should have been the number one focal point. So until otherwise, I'm not believing a word from anybody from the Jets organization. So moving on to baseball, the Cardinals are going to play the Yankees tonight. The Cardinals are playing the Mets tonight in a 4-game series. Jacob deGrom will go with Jacob against Jake Flaherty, and despite the fact the wins and losses for Jacob deGrom, and obviously Jacob deGrom got to pitch a lot better than we expected. And you know what's funny? Who would have thought that Jason Vargas would be the ace of the staff this year? Even though the best pitcher in baseball was the best pitcher in that ball club is deGrom and Syndergaard, but this year is Jason Vargas, who don't throw 96. Who don't throw 96, 97 miles an hour, but has been consistent. 3-3. His ERA is 6. His ERA is 3. Is under 3. Is 3. Around 3. So that's a pretty good ERA. And everybody else have a losing record. And the ERA is 4. Is in the 4s. 4.0. Which could have been a lot better, but it's not terrible either. And the Yankees gonna have a 4-game series with the White Sox, keeping tabs on the Rays for the NL East. And with that, that's gonna do it for this edition for Drew Mania Live. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to listen to this episode again, please go to Spreaker.com. Type in the keyword Andrew L. Perry. Once again, go to Spreaker.com and type in the keyword Andrew Perry. And please follow my show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. Until then, this is Andrew Perry. Always say to you, Shalom, let peace go with you. And I'll talk to you in the next Drew Mania Live. So long, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.